All right, well, welcome everybody. This is Mark Barrett in scenic Denver. I'm going to be your host, talking to you from my home office here over near, actually not far from City Park in Denver. Love the downtown lifestyle. And we're going to be talking tonight about an incredible business model. And you probably tuned in because you may have come in, been invited by one of the team members to take a look at this incredible, what we call top-tier direct sales business model. Oops, watch, my earphone's falling out. And to learn a little bit about how you can use this powerful business model to actually, as a seven-figure business model. And pretty incredible, actually, because a lot of people really don't realize the power behind a one-up compensation plan, and we're going to explain a little bit to you tonight about that. And hey, we got a little bit of background noise, guys, so mute your mic if you're shuffling stuff around on your desk. Brian. Okay. So anyway, and so we're going to explain a little bit to you about that and how we make that work. And but first, I'm going to give you a little quick introduction. My name's Mark Barrett. I've had the good fortune to be in the home business industry for the last 28 years, and I have had the good fortune to work on a number of different business models, online marketing, internet marketing, and also in the MLM industry. And I've had the good fortune to be a seven-figure earner in that particular industry. Yeah, Brian, you need to mute. Have the good fortune to be a seven-figure earner in that industry, and so I know a little bit about making money in the marketplace, a little bit about the business models that we're going to be talking about tonight. And I have to tell you that I ran into this particular business model really only a couple months ago. And I immediately, when I took a look at it, got pretty excited about it, because one of the things I really understand in the home business industry, and especially MLM industry, are the different compensation models that are out there. And to a certain extent, most standard MLM business models, whether they're a hybrid binary with a director's check match, they have all these special varieties. You could almost write a book about the different unique variations that they've generated over the last 4 or 5 years, probably thanks to computers, right? They sit down and slice it and dice it and do all these business models. But the bottom line is, with most standard MLM business models, you're playing a 5% ballgame. And so the challenge for the home business professional is, how do you really take a 5% business model and make it throw enough cash flow for me to even pay my phone bill on after 3 or 4 or 5 months? Because most people's goal when they go into a home business is to generate big income quickly, right? And so most people are out there trying to get compensation plans with really good companies. There's a lot of very good companies in the marketplace today, just incredible products. But people are diving into those business models and trying to get the comp plans to do things they weren't designed to do. And on average, in a standard MLM, it's going to take you over 2,000 people, listen, 2,000 people in your downline to be able to generate even $5,000 a month in residual. Now, the trick is, if there was some really quick way to go out there and build a team of 2,000 people in 30, 60, 90 days, hey, big deal, right? Just go do it. But even using really powerful online marketing strategies, which I know how to do, I know there's no really quick way to do that. So most people are looking at an extended development business plan where you get tiny residuals that's going to take you 2 or 3 years. Nothing wrong with that. Still a powerful business model. However, there are other business models where, if you sit down and actually take a look at the marketplace and take a look at what can be provided by taking a different business model in the home business industry, one that throws 100% commissions, one that throws very high-level commissions, which is called top-tier direct sales, then all of a sudden the whole ball game changes, and it changes almost instantaneously. Using a business model like the one we're discussing, you have the ability to dive into a business and literally put yourself into a 5-figure income stream within a month, right, or 2 at the most. And we've had people that have done it their first week. So when I ran into this particular version of the business model, I was pretty impressed. Company's been around since about 2009. I took a look at their website. I took a look at the conversion statistics. I took a look at the products, which are in the back office, which are all membership products related to personal development and business training, which I love. And I thought, you know, this is pretty absolutely amazing. So I dove in, decided to take it out for a test drive, and bought a membership. and went out and started marketing. Now, the nice part about this is usually in a home business model, you dive into it and you get all excited, you write out the check and you dive into the business, and then all of a sudden you wake up one morning after you do your setup and you go, wait a minute, how am I going to generate leads? Well, they don't say anything about generating leads, and now it's pretty much you're left to your own devices, or your sponsor tells you, well, make a list of everybody you know, and we'll do three-way calls. The dread chicken list, right? And but that's not what this business model is about. Matter of fact, with this one, you dive in, the marketing system is actually integrated into the business model, so you have the powerful funnel that generates, on average, 80% of your sales at $3,500. That's a 100% commission program, right? So 80% of your sales come in at $3,500. That means you have the ability to earn $3,500 commissions every time somebody comes into the business. But on top of that, when you plug in, it's like, here's the lead broker. Here's exactly where you generate your leads. Go grab them right here. Here's the marketing system. Go set yourself up right here, and then plug them together. Boom. And you're in business, literally generating leads and talking to prospects. You can be within 24 hours of joining the business. And that makes all the difference in the world. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the powerful technology we use, which is a automated voice broadcasting technology, and how it just generates huge volumes of numbers. I mean, we have a system that can literally reach out and touch 50,000 people a minute. That's right, 50,000 people a minute. Now, you can't talk to that many people, but the beauty of this technology is it allows us to reach out and touch, sift a really large group of people down into just the few, well, the few being usually 30 a day or more, that raise their hand and say, I'm really interested in exactly what I heard on that recording. Call me, please. Give me the website so that I can review the info. And that's really the core business model. So I went out and I did that. I dusted off the model. I didn't make any changes because one of the things I love to do, I love marketing, so I love changing things in business models. So I had to restrain myself. I went, no, don't do it. No changes. And because I wanted to be able to set a track record and see, hey, let's dust it off, take it out of the box, and see if it actually works the same way that the people that I'm going to be bringing in are going to be using this business model. And that's what I did. So I went out. Hey, I generated $19,000 in income my first week, not month, but week. And then by the end of the first month, just from the cold generated leads that I generated through their marketing system, their leads, their marketing system, their messages, changing nothing, their website, I generated over $25,000 in income the first month. And that is up to now a little bit over 2 months. It's coming up just pennies under about $80,000. So I am absolutely stoked. It's incredible. And what's extra incredible is this is a business model that actually duplicates. And you're looking at a lot of the team members here on the Google Hangout we're doing this evening that have come in, dove in as I did, rolled up their sleeves, went to work, and made money. And that's the great part about this business model. And I know a lot of the people on that I'm going to introduce you here, and they're going to tell you a little bit about their experience, have had some $10,000 weeks recently, which is awesome. I love it when team members succeed. So why don't we dive in real quickly here and introduce the first one. Why don't we start with Brian? Brian, you can unmute yourself now.
Okay, sorry about that. My daughter was in the background trying to cook stuff.
Okay.
So I had to go help her out. Yeah, thanks, Mark. And I did have a $10,000 week, a little more than that, $10,500 week, and it was fantastic. I haven't had a week like that since I used to own my brick and mortars business, 8 years ago. So my story is pretty simple. I have been online now for about 3 years, and trying to be online for about 3 years, I guess is a good word, and make money doing it. Pretty much didn't have a lot of success. A few bucks here and a few bucks there, but mostly I spent way more than I ever earned. I went to trainings, and I went to, paid for, weekends at, big gurus' houses to go listen to how they did things, and, yada yada, whatever. I spent, I bet I spent 40, 50 grand over those 3 years trying to figure out what to do. Well, in, I guess, 8 weeks, I'm almost even. Can you believe it?
All right.
I'm almost even in 8 weeks after 3 years of spending all that money, which makes my wife pretty happy, so that's cool. She thought I was crazy for, if you got that entrepreneurial bug, you just don't quit. And for me, there was no quit. I just had to wait till I found the right thing. And Mark had called me up one day. I remember I was sitting in the McDonald's parking lot after I just came home from a long road trip, thinking this kind of sucks. I got to figure out something. And you caught me at the right exact moment when you told me about it. I went home immediately, looked at the website, figured out. I didn't have the money. I figured out exactly what I needed to do to get the money. I came up with it, the 3,500. I mean, for me, it was do or die, right? I was like, I don't even care if what's the worst thing that can possibly happen? I lose $3,500 more on top of my $40,000. It really doesn't matter. So at that point, it was just pennies. I got the money. I came in my first week. I made a sale. My second week, I made another sale. My third week, I made another sale. My fourth week, I made another sale. My fifth week, I actually didn't make one, but then my sixth week, I made 3. So that was my $10,500 week. And like I said, I'm almost at 40 grand right now, and I can tell the season's getting better, and the people I talk to are truly, truly interested. They want to talk to me, which is fantastic. I try to even, just for my own sake, I try to keep my phone calls a little bit shorter when I'm talking to people, but it's hard to do that when you got these people who are so psyched about when they hear what you have to say, and they're so excited about it. And you're like, holy cow, I've been on the phone with this guy for 35, 40 minutes now. I got to move on. I still got 40 more phone calls to make, which is what happened today. But anyways, it's a great model. Anybody can do this. There's nothing hard about it. It's just a matter of, like you said, rolling up your sleeves and doing it. If you don't do it, if you buy in and don't do anything, well sure, it's not going to work. But I find myself talking to prospects sometimes, and they're always like, well, you can do it, but how do I know I can do it? And I said, you know what, if you do exactly what I tell you, exactly what our team has set in place, you really, I mean, maybe I'm getting bold here saying this, but you almost have to try to fail, because it's just going to happen. It's just like you throw enough stuff at it, you're going to make sales. It's just inevitable. So I love it. Thanks, Mark, for bringing it into me. It's changed my life. If I almost didn't do it, and I'd still be sitting in that McDonald's parking lot trying to figure out what the hell to do. So I'm so psyched. I'm loving every second of it.
Yep, and what Brian says is quite true. I mean, the bottom line is, and we'll go over in a minute the three key elements that I think are important for success in any kind of a home business or leverage business opportunity. But one of them, of course, is just having tools that actually work. Having the website, the presentation, whatever, that when people listen to it and look at it, actually converts, right? That does the heavy lifting for you. And that's exactly what we have. So we have part of the magical formula, which is we have a website and a presentation model and a format that when people look at it, they say, I see that. I can see how this will work. And so it does the heavy lifting for you. So that's magical in the industry, by the way, having a high converting website. So once you have that, your mission is quite simple. Hey, all you got to do is push traffic to it. Now, that's where most business models really let you down, because they bring in and they go, make a warm market list and we'll talk to 20 of your friends. Well, I got news for you. In the 28 years I've been in the industry, I never did it through talking to my friends. I sat down and said, I'm going to have to actually put this information in front of thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people to sift down to the few who are dead serious like me. And so that was my initial strategy 28 years ago. High volume lead generation. And that's exactly what we have here, only it's integrated into the system. So you don't have to go out there and recreate the wheel and figure out how to do it or hire some coach to teach you how to do it. You simply plug in, do exactly what I did that I showed Brian how to do, and Brian showing his team members how to do, and it's like, just plug in and do it, right? If you plug in and do it, you're working the numbers, right? You will make sales. That's the bottom line. That's the essence. So, Jerry, are you there?
I think I'm here.
Ah, there you go. Well, good. Hey, well, Jerry, welcome on the Hangout. This is the first Hangout we've had the pleasure of having you on, so give us a little background on you and tell us about your experience here.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me, Mark. And, of course, big thank you, big shout out to Brian, of course, because Brian, he gave me the phone call just like you called him. Brian called me. So My story is this, is that, I've been an online marketer. After years ago, I had the bug to be my own boss. I invested thousands of dollars, like 50,000 in my own video production, a wedding company. And then I look at what people are spending to start a business online, Mark, and, people just think they're just going to get, they're just going to make it, and they're going to make tens of thousands of dollars by getting started with something that costs $100. It's business is business, right? And it really comes down to when I saw this business, and I saw it because Brian literally told me his results, and you just heard Brian just share. Here was a guy that seriously really didn't have positive results for about 3 years, and when he told me his results, 17,000 in his first 6 weeks, I had to listen to him. I had to realize. I said, "Uh-oh, maybe things have changed for Brian." And I was really praying for you, Brian. I was like really hopeful that you were going to tell me the truth. And lo and behold, you did. And I was like, "Wow, this is unbelievable. Let's find out. Let's dig deeper into what is the secret success machine." And I got to tell you, I really decided to really plug into this system. I had to take a break, really honestly, for the whole summer, and I'm just getting back into it. But I got to tell you, when you see $3,500 literally come in because people respond to this message, honestly, I think it was within my first week, I was like, this is definitely a no-brainer. This is definitely going to happen. So I really understand that it takes thousands of people. And what you said, Mark, is so true. I think there really is there's a cloud over people in the sense that their sponsors never tell them the truth about the industry, which is you really need to go through thousands of people on a daily basis to find the diamonds in the rough that are going to make you a full-time income, because that's what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about full-time income. We're talking about $10,000 to $15,000 per month, because if that's what you want, that's what you're going to find here with the secret success machine. And when I saw it, I said, wow, this is probably the first company and the first team that is divulging their marketing strategy. Okay? And that is honestly probably the top 3 reasons why I joined. Is because I wanted to plug into what Mark was doing, and I wanted to plug into what Brian was doing. Hands down, that makes sense. No brainer, sign me up. Okay? So I love this system because you feel productive every single day. When you are in business, you must feel a sense of being productive, and you got to feel that when you go to bed that you're doing work, you're getting results. That's what's so key. And if you're not getting results, it's probably because either you don't know what to do with marketing, or you don't have or you're not in a good program because the pay plan doesn't pay you enough. And I've made thousands of dollars online, and I can only tell you that this SSM is the quickest path to making $10,000 a month. And I just want to encourage people to literally to get started, to learn what it is, because, and I mean really join, okay? And why? It's because you really know that here there is a marketing strategy that's proven, and it's amazing because there's thousands and there's millions of leads. There's never a dry these type of leads, we target business owners. That's the big key here. Okay, I remember, Brian, when you said that to me, I was like, whoa, let's talk about this. So it really came down to just having a proven system. And if Brian can follow it, I really said to myself, I said, if Brian can follow this, I can do this. I know I can do this. So anybody can. And I got to say this, which is, if you're watching this and you are invited guests of myself or Mark or Brian or Orlando or anybody else who's actually just having people watch this because you were probably a direct result of the marketing. So if you say to yourself, oh, wait a second, you're right, Jerry did call me, or I got a voicemail from Jerry and maybe we connected and all of a sudden I'm on this webinar, well, guess what? You are a product of the marketing. And that should tell you something. So I realized I was a product of the marketing myself. I loved it. I think it's phenomenal. I'm proud to be part of Mark and Brian's team, and we're looking to help as many people get to that 10K a month mark, because it definitely can be. But that's it for now, Mark.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Jerry. So, but you had you had a pretty good week. What was it, last week or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. 4,000 came in.
Ah, that's pretty
Yeah,
nice. I love this.
yeah,
I love those days. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. So yeah. And
yeah.
so that's called, but see, the magic here is that's called duplication. And in a lot of programs, they just don't duplicate. I mean, it's more where a leader can come in and they can sponsor a bunch of people and everybody sits around but they find it really difficult for them to go and sell the business and bring people in. So what we hear is we just have amazing duplication because we have a business model that works. We have the marketing that's integrated, and all you have to do is plug into the system and pay attention, do what you're supposed to do on a daily basis, and boom, right? You're gonna make money. So, and now we have Orlando down in Miami, Florida. Hey, Orlando, how you doing?
Hi, I'm great, Mark. Thanks for having me on the call. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Great. Well, my story is pretty much similar to the previous two gentlemen. I got started in MLM back in, I think it was around the year 2002 or so. I was a sophomore or so in college, and I struggled for the first couple years, and then I had a lot of success around 2003 with the nutritional company. But the interesting part about that experience was that I was doing everything that I'm doing now completely manually, meaning that I was making about 150 to 200 phone calls a day. So I was pretty much a professional telemarketer, if you will. And the interesting part was that I was making a full-time income, and I was getting glorified by the company, getting bonus checks, and they would fly me out to trips. And, I was being treated like a rock star, but I was literally hating my business because it was such a grind to be on the phone 8, 9, 10 hours a day, and I had to sift and sort and follow up with people, and I had to create this entire system, and it was non-duplicatable. It was just there was just nobody willing to do what I was doing. I guess I was that crazy. I had all this fire and energy and youth inside of me that lasted about 6 or 8 months, and I was able to get that income to about $5,000 a month, and I had about $1,000 in residual income. But after about 6 to 8 months, I got completely burnt out. I walked away with it because I didn't imagine that I can have that kind of success, but it was going to take that amount of work. So I just got burnt out. So I walked away from it. Went back to I just figured, well, I guess I was a newly college graduate. So I just said, well, I guess I got to get a job, and this MLM thing is just not going to work out for me. So I went into the corporate world for about 5 years, went into management, and that was probably a worse experience because I was working 70, 80 hours a week. I had literally no life, and one day I said, you know what? I can't, I can't give up. I got to keep trying. So I decided to get back in the industry, struggled, and then last year I tried to figure out internet marketing, and that was just a disaster. We're not going to get into that. That was just what you guys have a fair share of what that's like, where you spend more than what you make, and you put way more time than what you're compensated for. So I got a call just like all these gentlemen, and just like I'm sure you're on the call right now, and I responded, and I decided to get started, and I got started around the beginning of July, but I didn't start marketing until the middle of July, and in the last 45 days or so, I generated a little over 33,000, and I took a week vacation last week. I was out of the country, came back, and I had $12,000 waiting for me, which was like, I mean, it was unbelievable. It's still really hard for me to really accept that, but it's really true, and it shows you the power on the automation that this business has, because we're able to leverage a very powerful technology, which is voice broadcasting, which has been around for quite some time. And if you're able to get a message and offer an opportunity in front of a large amount of people, then the few early adopters, or the people, the visionaries, right, the people who are open-minded and business-minded, will see that opportunity and want to get started. And what's interesting about my success story is, you say, okay, 33,000 is a lot of money. Yes, that's not a lot of money, but the most impressive part to me is that I only brought in 6 people. That's it, 6 people. And and what Mark was saying earlier, to make, $5,000 a month in MLM, you got to bring in about 2,000 people to make 5,000 a month. And I've been able to literally do, what is that, whatever, 6 times that amount with one. I don't even know what the fraction is on it. That's ridiculous. It's like out of 6, do you want to bring in 6 people or 2,000 people? I mean, it's like a ridiculous question, but that's just the power that we have here. So anybody that's watching this, have an open mind. Look at this from a franchise, because this is the perfect franchise. If someone was to come up to me and give me a free McDonald's or free Subway, well, I don't know, I turn down it for free. But what I'm saying is, in that type of business model, it's completely different, because it takes like 3 to 5 years to break a profit. You have to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars. You have to get inventory, a building, a lease, a location, equipment, employees, insurance, and then you got to run it, right? You got to run the thing or hire someone to run it, and then your profit margins are on 10 to 20%, which means for every dollar you earn, you're only making about 10 or 20 cents. And in this opportunity, it's literally the complete opposite. So out of every dollar that gets invested into either overhead or marketing expenses, you're making about 80 to 90 cents per dollar, which is insane. So, and you can actually, like the gentleman have been saying, most of the people on this panel are putting in part-time hours, and we're able to make executive level income. So I'm just excited. I'm blessed. I feel that I'm very fortunate to have come across this opportunity. And if anyone's looking at this, just have an open mind and decide to make a decision, because 6 months of 2014 have already gone by, and have you reached your whatever resolutions you've made, have you been able to reach them? If any of them pertain to financial resolutions, then if you have not reached them, then you still have almost 6 months left, or whatever it is, 5 months left in 2014. So make a decision, and I promise you won't regret it if you plug in and you do exactly what we teach you to do. So that's my story, Mark. I appreciate everything you do, and I think this business is awesome, man.
Okay. Hey, thanks, Orlando. Thanks. Gonna be visiting you down in Miami next week. Get a little sun. Get a little beach time in. So now we're gonna jump over to San Diego and talk to Sotero Garcia. Hey, Sotero, you there?
Hey, everybody. Yes, I am. Man, it's been nice listening to stories tonight and seeing new faces once again. For all of you who are here tonight because of the invite you received from one of us or myself through Facebook or one of our many platforms, welcome. You're in the right place. And, I thought before I got on the call tonight that I'd be talking about, the business model and kind of what we're doing. But really, I want to talk to the people who are on this call right now and who will be viewing this call real shortly in case you missed the live view of this. But it really is about you guys. And we've got a formula here that works. And one of the key things that I didn't get your name there because you were new this week over there, but what he was saying is that we're talking to business people. We're not talking to people that are just trying to make $200 or they need a job or they're trying to maybe get online for the first time. Our people are taught, that we speak with through our lead system that very importantly is built in. One of the top 2 things that's important in this business is that it's very simple, it's high converting, and that the lead source is built in. So with that in mind, we've given you the technology right here to pretty much put you on your way and get you into profit in your first week, realistically. I mean, how many times have you heard that? I know for myself, I started promoting on a Monday, started on a Friday, set it up over the weekend, started promoting on a Monday. Within 3 days, had my first call. Paul, how you doing out there? Back, ready to go. He did no sales, no pitching. He said, hey, I'm ready to go. I want to get the bonuses. How do I do that? Sent out a simple email, was signed up. Next day, check was in the mail. And I want to say congratulations to you, Paul. I know you're in another country, Kabul to be exact, work for the government, and we'll leave it at that. But congratulations, welcome to the team. We'll see you on the call next week. And really, like I said, I want to focus on you guys on the call tonight. There comes a time, I've been doing this profession. I started my journey on July 1st, 2008. It was a Tuesday. My son, I remember him laughing at me because I was typing with one finger, because I was just a DJ prior to this. But other than that, I worked at a satellite call center, selling satellite television. So I'm not some genius. A lot of times you say follow the gurus and you'll make this much money. I'm not a guru. I'm just a regular guy that's put his head down, learned some cool skills, surrounded myself most importantly with special individuals that are moving in the right direction. And another one that's real important is I only do top tier. A lot of times people ask me, so have you heard about this business or that business or this MLM or this or that? I said, well, I really only do top tier. And they're like, well, what's that? And it's a great conversation starter, and it's been a great one this week. So I know we're trying to keep this call short. Again, it's about you guys on this call tonight. Press the button below, get more information, get back with the person who brought you this. Make sure that you get back with the person who invited you here. It's very important. They might not be on this panel tonight. We can't get to everybody at once, but like I said last week and this week, we're going to have you on here as soon as you step up. So it's your time right now, and we welcome you aboard, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the beaches of the world.
Hey, thanks, Sotero. Hey, I like your hat, man.
Yeah, it's nice. Thought I'd clean up a little bit for you.
And I have to tell you, it's kind of funny because Sotero's new member, before he signed up, had I think he watched one of our last hangout.
Absolutely.
And so he looked me up on Facebook, and he was messaging me on Facebook. And I'm looking at his Facebook profile, and I saw that he had been to Sri Lanka. And I really love exotic travel, and so I was saying, so how did you like Sri Lanka? How long did you stay there? And he goes, I'm there right now. And I went, awesome. So
it just goes to show you can do this anywhere in the world, and it's pretty awesome.
You can, yeah. And I just talked to Joy. We actually have a team outsourcer for anybody that feels they're challenged by the technology. $5 an hour. They set up all the marketing for you. They send you your leads. It's awesome. So he's going to actually be using Joy, and so I was talking to her, and she's in the Philippines. So yeah, we have a whole structure. Believe me, we can take care of you. So hey, let's dive in real quickly here. I want to talk to. But congratulations on getting your first success there, Sotero. That's great.
But there's more. There's actually more. We'll talk about that on the next call, though.
Okay, that's good. Now, what I want to do, because a lot of you maybe responded to an email from me or one of our team members in which we were talking about how you create a seven-figure business model using a system called a one-up. Right now, the one-up has been around forever. Right. Matter of fact, this company's been around since 2009. So the marketing program and the marketing structure has proven itself. It's not something that we're bringing in brand new and saying, look, we've created this unique, incredible killer system, and we really think it's going to work, right? You've seen those already, I'm sure, online. No, this has been around since 2009, and the people that have run into it and looked at it and said, wow, I'm going to do this, have been quietly making fortunes for several years, right? And I say, doggone it, why didn't I run into this a couple of years ago? But, hey, timing's always right. But I did, and I'm very grateful I did. But let me tell you a little bit about, most people tend to look at this business model from the standpoint of direct sales, because the business model is called top-tier direct sales, right? And the difference is, if you take a look at the whole home business industry, the majority of the home business industry, unless you're talking about selling Amazon products or small ticket items or affiliate marketing to where you're selling other people's stuff. The biggest bulk of the home business market is the MLM industry, right? And you have two different facets to that. On one side, you have what's called standard MLMs. That's where you sign up for a couple $100, and it's a 5% ball game. Regardless of what kind of special exotic comp plan you have, you're getting 5%, a nickel per dollar. And so that's why it takes so many people to generate the income. The flip side of that, if this is standard MLM, this is top-tier direct sales. This is where the entry fees are bigger, but you also generate bigger commissions. And so top-tier programs may run from a few $100 entree for a membership up to 20,000. I've seen them as high as 30 or 40,000. So it's almost like a hybrid between a franchise and MLM. But it's more, your income is based more when people first look at it on the direct sales aspect of the business. So it's like, well, like with Secret Success, you make 100% after one pass-up sale. So you come in, you buy your membership level, and membership levels actually range from 500 to 20,000. The levels are actually 500, 2,000, 3,500, 6,500, 12,000, and 20,000. So you buy your level, you come in. I'm not going to go over the comp plan in detail. You can actually use the little button down below the Hangout here, click on Get More Info, That'll take you right into the website of whoever invited you here, and you can look at the whole business model. But the bottom line is there are multiple levels, and when you bring somebody into the business, that person is going to know that you're very interested in them being successful, because the way the comp plan is designed, the first sale that they make, that commission is going to go to you, and it's 100% commission structure. So if we're talking $3,500, that means that if you bring somebody in and they come into the business and come in at the 3,500 level, you make 3,500 bucks. Boom, right? Good commission. When they go out and make their first sale, that first sale in its entirety is going to pass up to you. So now you're at $7,000. But because of the one-up compensation model, that person is assured that you're going to be very, very concerned about them getting into the business, understanding it, and you're very interested in helping them because you're going to make the first commission. But still, most people that look at the one-up comp plan program, I have had people that I talk to tell me, it goes, well, it looks like you can make a lot of money with this through your direct sales. There's no doubt about that. I can see how you can make 40 or 50,000 a month within a couple months. But it just doesn't have this long-term income potential of standard MLMs to where people can make, $250,000 a year or so, or $500,000. Well, I got news for you. Let me show you a little bit about how the actual one-up comp plan works. So I'm going to do a screen share here. Let me launch my little PowerPoint first. Okay. And see if we can get the technology to work here. I think I can. Boom. Share. Okay, there we go. Should be able to see my screen now. And so you're looking at the screen that says Secret Success Machine. So here's a really quick and easy example of how a one-up comp plan works. Now, the basis of the one-up comp plan is that in a top tier, and this is a number of top tier direct sales companies use this. What happens is you come in and you buy a membership. The memberships vary from $500 to $20,000. You come in at whatever level makes sense for you, and then you can always upgrade, right? But there are some special bonuses for coming in at certain levels. However, 80% of the people that join Secret Success Machine do it at $3,500. 80%. Now that is an incredibly high number of conversions for people that come in through an automated website with a direct sales model or any online business model. It's incredibly high. So if, let's say, for example, somebody joins, you join the business, somebody joins you, right? So let's say, for example, we're going to keep all the people at 3,500 so it's easy to understand, right? So you bring in a member, that member joins and pays you $3,500 for the membership. So you've made $3,500. What happens next is that member, as you help them get ramped up and going, is going to personally sponsor their first person. But that first person is a training sale, and so the commission passes up to you. But not only the commission passes up, but that new member passes up to you also. So that new member is just the same as a directly sponsored member to you. In MLM terminology, that would be a frontline person, right? So not only the commission passes up, but the member. This is very important. Now, what happens next is, so that new member that was just passed up to you now turns around and makes their first sale. Now, that first sale goes to you as well as their first new member. So they both pass up. So that's member 2. And then when that second pass up goes out and makes a sale, their first commission, let's say it's $3,500, passes up to you, and that new member passes up. So every time you receive a pass up, it's called a receiving line. So every time you start a new receiving line, you have personally introduced somebody to the business and sold a membership. And then all the way down that line, every time one of those members brings in their first person, that passes up to you at the head of the receiving line, right? So that means that you have an incredible amount of leverage. Now, in this pass-up receiving line structure goes down literally to infinity. Now, what does that really mean in terms of dollars and cents? Well, it's a lot more than most people. I think there's a lot of people that are actually in the top-tier direct sales business that don't even pay attention to this, because a lot of people I see in the industry don't do it properly. They go out there and treat this like a one-off sale. They bring in somebody, the person pays a few $100s or a few $1,000s, and then the member thinks, oh, that's all the money I'm going to make off them, so now I'm going to go work on the next person, right, and bring in some more memberships. Well, that's a very shallow way to look at the business, because the members that you bring in, not only do you owe it to them to help make them successful, but it's within your financial interest based on a one-up. So for demonstration only, right? Let's say that you sponsor one new member per week. Now, one of the things I've seen, and one of the reasons I like the direct sales business model over standard MLMs, and I've been very successful in standard MLMs. I took my first standard MLM that I was with for about 17 years, and I drove that income stream up to over 1 million a year, actually 1.5 million a year. So, but I had 100,000 people in my team to be able to do it. It was an enormous number of people, right? But the one thing I know from having spent time with people and teaching and coaching and training people over the last 28 years is the average person that enters a direct sales home business or MLM has the ability to go out and market, and the average person can generally bring in anywhere from 2 to 4 people a month left to their own devices. Now, with our high volume lead generation system, you can bring in a lot more than that, but let's say 4. That's 1 a week. That's a pretty easy example. If you introduced 1 new member per week to the business, and let's say, well, 80% of the sales are 3,500, so we'll just say the 3,500 for the sake of example. That means you have 48 new members times 3,500 bucks. You make in a year 168,000. Now that's not too bad. That's a lot more than 99 and 44 100% of the people in any MLM make in their first year in the business, guaranteed. Then what happens is, because of the passive structure, that's just the tip of the iceberg. You know that old iceberg, analogy they use, where it's like, it's just the tip of the iceberg. I think it's the 1/5 of the iceberg that sits above the water, 4/5 is below. This is more extreme, which is what's really exciting. So you take those 48 new members, right? They're all going to pass up 1 sale to you. So let's take this example down 10 levels, right? So that means that 48 new members times 10 levels, that's 480 pass-ups you're going to get in a year. Now, of course, there's no such thing as perfect, so some people aren't going to duplicate, but just for the sake of example. So 480 members times 3,500, that's $1,680,000. Huge amount of money. Plus your personal sponsoring commissions, 168,000. So you're looking at a business model here that, with a conservative projection, you could be looking at over $1 million a year, 7-figure business model, right? Because of the way the one-up, pass-up works, based on every time you start a new receiving line, you start a whole chain of events going in which you're going to receive one-ups, the first one from each of those members coming in under a new member, all the way down to infinity, right? So this is an incredibly, incredibly powerful business model. So you need to take a very, very close look at this. And a lot of people, when I first got started in this, and I started looking at it, and I made some good money, and they said, "Hey, you're making good money," and I said, "Hey, you don't understand the half of it. This is a 7-figure business model, and that's my mission. My goal now is to develop this into a 7-figure model within the next few months. And if you join our team, right, we're going to show you exactly." And I don't hide anything from team members. Everybody that comes into the business, I show them the exact strategies that I use to build the business, and I give them the exact same tools. I hold nothing back, right? Because it's in my best interest to share. Plus, we have, we have a whole team training website. We have a private Skype chat group to get questions answered. We have a private Facebook team group, and we have, matter of fact, last week we started our marketing masterminds by Hangout, and we're going to continue those at least once every 2 weeks. And that way we can get everybody that's having a lot of success using whatever strategy they're using on the masterminds. All the team members can listen in and get all the nuances and ask questions, and it's a way to share information to the whole group so we can all succeed at a higher level. So remember, I was going to tell you a little bit about what I consider to be the really key factors for a highly successful home business. Yeah, what's the secret, right? I've always felt that it's based on 3 things, right? You need, number one, you need, in today's market, because it's an online marketplace, a high converting website. Now, I will point out that secret success is really not an online business model, right? So if you're not really adept technologically, I don't care. It doesn't make any difference whatsoever, because what we do from the standpoint of marketing does not really rely on the internet. You're going to end up with a website that you're going to send people to, Whether or not, you don't have to create it, you don't have to build it, you don't have to design it, you don't have to do any of that. It's just yours, boom, right, when you join. But the website is such that it has proven itself since 2009 that it converts a high level of prospects, right? The website does the telling and selling for you so that you're not having to sit there and give long drawn out presentations 24 hours a day. Plus we do these Google Hangouts all the time that you can bring members to, or prospects to. So you have a website that gives you leverage and works 24 hours a day, making money. Like Orlando said, he was on vacation, he comes back, he's got 2 checks. He goes, whoa, I got paid for being on vacation. Pretty sweet. So the second key is, once you have that high converting website, your mission is real simple. I got to push a lot of leads over to my website because it's going to convert. It's simply a numbers game, right? So as long as you're targeting the right type of leads and have a system that can push a high volume over, which we do, boom, you will make money as long as you insert yourself into the equation and actually do what you're supposed to do, right? Success is a function of generating consistent lead flow to your website. Secret success is it built into the system. Now, the third thing is, you can have these first 2 factors, high converting website, telling and selling, high volume lead generation, but if you're doing it with a product to where when you bring somebody in, you make $100, you're dead. You're going out of business each sale you make, right? Because what most online marketers really don't realize is how much it costs to actually create a customer. You must have a high profit product so that while you're making the system work for you, every time you generate a sale, it generates a huge income or a huge profit to you, so you can turn back around, leverage your business, invest that back into marketing and advertising, and leverage yourself up even further. You must have a high level of income so you can generate profits so you can live on them from day one, right? Secret Success website does the heavy lifting for you, does the telling and selling, business webinar products, testimonials, right? 80% of the people that go through the sales funnel join at $3,500. I mean, that is an extremely high number. Actually, some even join at a higher level. Here's one that came in my first week in the business, right? Now, kind of luck of the draw that it ended up in the first week, but it was a $12,000 sale. Actually, in the last 2 months, I've made, I think, 5 $12,000 sales. Pretty amazing, huh? So, let's see now, where were we? Okay, ooh, I jumped ahead of myself. Here we go. Secret Success Machine as a built-in lead generation system, part of the business model. Voice broadcast marketing, I'm not going to go over the details. It works. It's amazing. You can reach out and touch. If you wanted to send a message out to the targeted leads that we show you where to get and send it out to 50,000 people, you can do it in 1 minute. Can you imagine being able to reach out and give a prospecting message to 50,000 people? Just based on sheer numbers, you're going to have a huge number that raise their hand and say, hey, wait a minute, that sounds really darn interesting. Tell me how it works, right? And then you have a high conversion ratio because of the website, you have high profit, and it's a low-cost offering. Here are the high-profit products. As I told you, there are several levels: $500 level, $2,000 level, $3,500, $6,500, $12,000, $20,000, right? 100% commission to the seller. How can you get better than that, right? 80% of the sales come in at $3,500. You even make 1 sale a week, not even figuring the profit from the one-up, you're still at $14,000 a month, right? So here's how you get started, right? You set up you enroll, get yourself set up your website and autoresponder system. That takes you about less than 1 day, like Sortera said, right? Set up your voicemail system, the messages, everything. I don't want to go into too much detail. You can go through it. You can get back to the people that invited you here. But the bottom line is, it's so easy to set up. The messages are done. The lead broker is in place, giving you the proper type of leads. The voice broadcasting is already set up. The messages, everything's done. You just connect the dots within the template and insert yourself into the middle. And even if you don't feel technologically proficient to do this stuff, we have a team outsourcer we put into place. And you can, contact her. Her name's Joy, and say, okay, hey, I want you to set up my broadcast for the week. She goes, okay, what days? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's fine. They're going to go out at 5:30. I'm going to email you the leads. You just call them. How simple is that, right? And when you call them, you're not doing cold calls because these people have been sifted through 3 levels of voicemail, right? They've raised their hand and said, hey, Mark, well, or whatever your name is, right? Orlando, Sotero, hey, give me a call. This sounds really interesting. I think I would really like to take a look at it. What's the website? So you're calling up people. that are going to be your new best friends because you're introducing them to a system where they can make a ton of money, right? I'm not going to go over the details here. I will drop back here real quickly and tell you, because I want to wrap this up in a few. With these levels here, you're looking at the different starting levels. Okay, your income you will make when working with a system like this is based upon your starting level, right? So if you come in at $500, the $500 membership level, you are going to be limited to $500 commissions. You're going to pass up the first one, but you're going to be limited to $500 commissions. So that means even if you brought in somebody at $3,500, you would only make $500. The other $3,000 would go to your grateful sponsor, right? So typically speaking, people when they look at this say, I want to come in at the highest level that I can afford because that means more money in my pocket from day one. And the way the system operates is they offer what's called a special fast start bonus for people that get going right away after they see the presentation, right? That if you come in at the 3,500 level, they bonus you up to the next level for free. So you come in and you pay 3,500, you get the 6,500 level, you save $3,000 as a bonus for just being a rapid adopter and an action taker. You come in at 65, they bonus you to the 12. You save $6,000. You come in at 12, they bonus you to the 20. And so now you have the availability of collecting commissions at all of those levels without having to pass up all that income to your sponsor. Of course, if you want to pass that all up to your sponsor, that's okay. Come in at 500. So that's how the bonus structure works. What did we miss here? Monitor lead codes. Yeah, we're not going to go over too many more details because I want to keep this short and sweet. Stop screen sharing. There we go. We're back. So, oh, I should show you one more thing real quickly. What you're going to see when you go inside. Let's do one more thing real quickly here. Boom. If you haven't been to the website presentation yet, if you click that little button down below the Hangout, you're going to actually get directly into, you're going to put in your email address to register, you're going to go into the members site that invited you to this Google Hangout. Same invite people once you join. And so here's what you're going to see, right? The overall presentation, here's a 45-minute webinar that goes through the whole business model, how it works, why it works. Here are the income testimonials from people that are making just killer amounts of money. How about 25,000 in 4 days? Yeah, well, there's me, 19,000 in a week, right? You go all the way down. You want to look at the products. The products are, click here to see the products right in the middle. You click on that, and it gives you, I think he's going to start talking here. I got to mute him. Nope, there we go. And it gives you the different levels of all the products. All these products are information products, right? So it's info. So that means that if you want to do the business internationally, this business can be done any place in the world. Doesn't matter where you are. Doesn't matter where you are, right? We have members from in countries like Singapore and Germany. We have members from a lot of European countries, and you can do it in South America. You can do it in Costa Rica. It really doesn't matter where you're from, because it's all digital delivery. But each of the product levels, when you come in and buy a level, has all these different personal development and business training digital delivery products. There's 20 hours of content for the lowest level product. I'm not going to give you whiplash here. You can take a look at all of this on the, I just want to go down here quickly. Sorry if you're getting a little fuzzy. Just close your eyes for a minute. The Diamond package has 96 hours of personal development and other types of training. The Elite Royale, the $20,000 level, has, I think, 111 hours worth of content. And this is all yours once you come into the business, right? Now, you don't need to go through all this content for you to turn around and start marketing. Matter of fact, I recommend to people, it explains the compensation plan, right? I recommend when people come in, I tell them, look, here's what you're going to do. We want to get you set up. We want to get you marketing immediately. The content that's back there that you purchased in your membership is really, really great stuff. And you should go through it, but put it to the side. Let's start making money, and then you can parcel off an hour a day maybe or so and start going through some of the different training that's back there. It's just awesome, awesome stuff. So anyway, that's what you're going to see when you go in. I highly recommend you dive in there. Let me stop the sharing. Here we go. We're back. And I actually want to do a wrap on this. We're a little bit under an hour. but I think we've shown you the power of the one-up compensation plan. The power is each of those receiving lines. Two things, right? One is the power of the receiving line one-up pass-up, right? And it's like leveraged recruiting, because when you sponsor somebody, their first person ends up being your first person, the first person of that person, the first person of that person, the first person of that person. They all flow up to you, right? Now, from the second person and on, they're starting their own receiving lines. But it's a combination of that power of that one-up pass-up that goes to affinity and the fact that you're passing up these huge chunks of commission that make a one-up compensation top-tier business model so incredibly powerful. So, you have a choice to make. You can go out there and court the home business market, and I can tell you the directions you can go. Affiliate marketing, right? Jerry talked a little bit about that, making money online. Hey, you'll beat yourself to death to make, $1,000 a month, and you'll be a successful online marketer if you make $1,000 a month. I guarantee it. And but it's going to take you probably 2 to 3 years to even figure out how to drive traffic and do that. You can go out and join the MLM industry, right, where you have to have 2,000 people on your team in your downline that you're going to have to get by doing warm market calls, right, and home meetings to join your group to make $5,000 a month. Or you can take a look at a top-tier business model that has an incredibly powerful comp, right? And even if you don't understand how that receiving line structure works, hey, 80% of the sales come in at $3,500 and it's 100% commission. Do the math. It's simple. But the big bonus that's there is that you can literally build this into a 7-figure business model. If you dive in, you make the step, you take the step, you decide your life is going to change right now financially, and you dive in and just make it happen. So I think we're all pretty excited, as you've seen, about this business model, because I know, at least for me, I love business models that work, right? And if I'm promoting a business model that I don't see duplication in, I can't do it. And that's why I had to finally stop working with the one that made me so much money in Standard MLM. After 17 years, I was making a ton of money, but I couldn't take my $135,000 a month check and show it to a new person coming in and say, look, I did it, you can do it too. Now, part of me said, well, they have that same opportunity, but the thing was, I knew how difficult it was. I looked at my organization, I had 100,000 people, and I went, the average person just isn't going to do this. It's not going to work. So I had to back off and stop, because I can't sell something that I don't think the majority of the people can succeed in. What I love about this business model is if you come in and follow our guidelines and do what we show you how to do and keep doing it, you can't miss. You can't miss. As you can see from our members here that are on the on our little hangout here, yeah, duplication is working. I'm a little jealous of some of their volumes. I got to get busy here again. I think I've been vacationing or something. Damn, Orlando, you're doing good, man. That's good. So, okay. Hey, any closing words for anybody here, Brian? He's shaking. Nope, he's got it. Okay. Jerry?
There we go. Was muted.
Yeah.
Awesome job. Tremendous job. Absolutely tremendous. Actually, just to reiterate, the first step that people would need to do, there is a website fee, Mark, if you can cover that for people.
Yes, okay. So the way the business model works is you won't find a sign-up link on the website, right? That prevents us from having bogus sign-ups, which in some programs that I won't name will drive you absolutely insane. With you get all these things. You just sign somebody up, and it's like, well, wait a minute, they didn't pay anything. So to actually sign up, you're going to go to the website. You're going to find your sponsor's smiling face picture and their phone number right on the website, and then you're going to leave them a message on that voicemail or call them directly and say, hey, how do I get started, right? I want to take advantage of that fast start bonus if you're going to take advantage of that, right? And then they will email you the registration link in which you're going to register with Secret Success directly. You're going to pay, because it's a 100% compensation model, Secret Success itself has to make money. So you're going to pay the Secret Success system $197 admin fee, administration fee, that covers your website for the whole year. That's it, right? $197. So you pay the $197, and then you're going to find payment instructions for your sponsor. And in top-tier direct sales models, the way it's done is cashier's checks. And so you'll be actually overnight mailing the cashier's check directly to your sponsor. And if your sponsor is in an international market, if they're in Singapore, if they're in Brazil, if they're in some other country, you're just going to do an international bank wire, which basically costs essentially exactly the same amount of money as sending a FedEx. Boom, right? Simple, boom, just like that. And then that takes 1 day. Your sponsor will go into their back office. They will clear your account so that you can then register or log into your website. And then you will be directed over to our team training, getting started website that's extensive, private team training. You'll be integrated into the Skype chat. If you have a question and you don't get it answered, it's because you're not answering it, because we're always available. And I want to thank you guys that are in there answering new members' questions on the Skype chat. Good teamwork. So, but yeah, it's pretty easy to get going. And literally, you can be up and running, have your voice broadcasting stuff plugged in, have your leads. You can be ready to go within a day to 2 days, max. So, why wait? Yeah. So, Orlando, any closing words?
I just want to congratulate Brian for his $10,500 a week, and Jerry for getting started. I remember Sotero when the last hangout, he had just gotten started. He was like in for 2 or 3 days and just started generating his leads. And I love the fact that he already got a sale within his first 2 weeks. So I just get excited when I see other people having success, because it shows the power in duplication, and you don't have to be anybody special. You don't have to have, Mark's got a great marketing background, but we have a lot of people coming in that are non-marketers that are having success. So I love the fact that somebody average coming in can get started. So that's the best part about this, man, that you don't have to be a superstar. If you have an above average desire to make a change in your life, then that's all you need. You just have to have a passion inside you and share that with others, and you will be able to connect with others, because people want what we have. Because quite frankly, this is very simple. Don't complicate this. I still wake up and I say, man, this is just, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming when you look at the amount of the changes that you can make financially for your life, and that you don't have to slave away, 50, 60, 70 hours a week to do that. Because at the end of the day, we all want to have not just financial freedom, but time freedom. And if you can have both, then I think we can all wake up pretty happy. And I think everybody on this panel would agree, right, gentlemen?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the one really interesting thing is, I'll tell you, the first month that I did the business, like I said, I made a point, right? Because I do have a background, and I do have a list, and I do have people that I can pick up the phone and call. But for the first month that I did it, I made no changes to the website. I used their messages for the voice broadcast. I used their lead broker. I didn't change anything. And when I called people up and talked to them, I didn't even have what's called a post message. They didn't hear my voice, so when I called them up, they didn't know me from Adam, right? And I didn't chat them up on the phone and say, I am this superstar in the home business industry, and you should join me. No, I just said, here's the website, blah, blah, blah. Simple little, rapport building. What do you do? Oh, yeah, and I just tell them, I go, look, go to the website, review the information. If you are really serious about having a home business to where you can put yourself into 5 figures a month in the next 30 to 60 days, if you're really serious about that, you're going to be really, really excited about what you see on the website. And the only other thing I told them is, I say, when you go to the website, you're going to see some testimonials that, quite frankly, you're going to find hard to believe. 9,000 a day, 25,000 in 4 days. But you know what? It may look too good to be true, but it's true. It is absolutely true. And the business model works. It's been around since 2009. That's it. I said, go to the website and call me. That's it. So it doesn't really matter who you are if you can pick up the phone and talk to somebody. I mean, there's ways we can even automate the whole marketing sequence for people that are really busy that don't even have the time to call, but that's an advanced strategy. We show you how to do that stuff too, but it's so simple. How about it, Sotero? You think it's pretty simple?
Yeah, I really do want to stress the first day I put about 4 hours in because it was all kind of new to me, and for the following 3 days running leads at about 30 a day, put in about an hour to an hour and a half. Spoke with some real fine individuals. I've got Dr. Let me see on my Excel sheet. I wanted to say hi to Dr. Morrow, MD, and Brad Coyle out there. I spoke to both of them just yesterday, and they're real excited about the program, and there's some good things to come. So I plan on having much more of the story to continue next week. See you guys on the live stream. I know we're getting a little bit long, so
There we go.
and I want to be thankful to just being surrounded by leaders, man. And to everyone on this panel, congratulations. It's only the beginning. I can't wait to see. I just know where we're going, and I can't wait to get there. I'll see you on the next.
Thanks, Sotero. Okay. We'll see you guys. We're going to call this a wrap. I want to thank everybody for joining us on this Google Hangout. And seriously, click that button down below. Dive into that presentation. Take a look. If you've already been through the information, what's holding you back, right? Isn't it your chance for the big opportunity right now? Isn't it your time, right? Let's go. Let's make it happen. Take that first step. Anyway, remember the Fast Start bonus. That's something you don't want to miss out on, right? Because there's a huge bonus there. Oh, I almost forgot, team bonus. And as a special team bonus, only for our team, we have a special bonus to when people dive in, because I know a lot of times people want, access to additional leads that they can broadcast to, or maybe they want special software tools. We have a bonus package that if you do Fast Start, in addition to what they offer you through Secret Success, you get access to 3 different lead scrapers that are free, that I actually sell online, but we give them to you for free. Plus, we give you access to 6.1 million business opportunity seeker leads for free. It's a team resource, right? That's only for our group. But it has to be the Fast Start bonus. You got to get going, and you got to get going and get back to the people that invited you to this and tell them tonight or by tomorrow at the latest, I'm ready to go. Thanks, everybody. We're going to call this a wrap, and thanks for joining us on the Hangout. Thanks for all the participants here. I really appreciate you guys chipping in and teamwork. All right, we'll see you on the next one.